Let's look at a story that shows how love can be so powerful but yet fragile and painful sometimes. So buckle up and let's fly to Thailand. Present Still Perfect was released in 2020 and directed by Anusorn Soisa-ngim. I am so sorry that I butchered that name. So this film is actually a sequel of Present Perfect, in which the story also revolves around the main two characters in this story. Now, I didn't actually watch the first movie before watching Present Still Perfect, and I was able to pick up and be up to speed in the first 20 minutes of this movie. So it's safe to say you can watch this movie independently from the first one. I think it's also thanks to the incredible acting that helps set the scene of what is the deeper meaning of the main characters' stories. Before I forget and you run off to watch the movie, there are mature audience only scenes, so viewers' discretion. Now, let's start. Anusorn, aka Toey, played by Adisorn Tonawani, goes on a vacation and stays at a resort currently being looked after by Jane, or also known as Jen, played by Darina Buyoncho, during the low season. A Japanese tourist, Kenta, played by Omi Ryota, happened to come across the resort being lost but decides to also stay at the resort. On the first night, Jen unintentionally opened up about her husband cheating on her, this starting an open communication between the three. Now, for the sake of this review, and so there's no confusion, I'm gonna call Darina's character as Jen, which is what they mainly call her in the movie anyway. It was actually a nice touch putting Jen and Kenta into the story, so there's a bit of laughter and not so intense moments or just lovey-dovey moments as well. Art, played by Kritsana Marukasanti, who is Toei's ex-lover that has a family already. He visits the resort to be with Toei again, but Toei is still heartbroken after their trip to Japan, and Art going back to his fiancée will not make it easy for Art to be with him again and chases him out of the resort. After opening up to Kenta about how Art is a bad person, Kenta opens Toei's eyes in a new perspective, that Toei's view and Art's view can be interpreted differently, which he then gives Art another chance with a condition to only spend 3 perfect days together. I think there's a lot of lessons that we can all learn from this movie. And what made me appreciate this movie being more than just a love story is the occasional heart-to-heart talk between the characters. Now, my favorite, which I will leave for you to watch, is Kenta's example of an old lady not getting a seat in the transportation. So listen out for those hidden messages because they can be an aha moment for you too. Jen finds out that Art is already married with a child and straight away worries about Toei, and she tries to tell him multiple times subtly without Art knowing, but fails at almost every attempt. When Jen finally gets a chance, Toei beats her to the punch and tells her that he already knows that Art already has a family. But of course, Jen, being in the same situation, tries to knock some sense into Toei. At the same moment, Art's wife finds out about the extramarital affairs. The day of Art's departure finally comes with heavy heart. Although reluctant to leave and not wanting the moments with Toei to end, he goes back to his family. Not knowing his wife knows about his secret, he gets confronted and is torn between his true self and his responsibilities, even though both worlds make him happy, or so he claims. What will Art do? Will Toei finally overcome his heartbreak? Now, I like how the story includes Jen, who is the voice of reason in this story, because she is the other side of the consequence or the receiving end if you were to be in an unfaithful marriage. Now, even though the focus and the most desirable outcome is the situation of Toei and Art being together, you still have that lingering morality that it's not okay to hide another relationship when you already vowed a promise to someone else. I don't want to give too much away if this is a movie that's on your list, so I'll leave my 2 cents of the story just right here. But to my last thoughts on this movie, you have to watch Present Still Perfect. I love how simple the movie is. The location and the background, the direction of the story, and the amount of characters is not saturated. So you don't get distracted from the main characters and the life lessons that you can take away. Now, I did read a few reviews of this movie and some people who have watched part 1 and part 2, and they really did prefer part 2 over part 1. And again, you can watch this movie independently. Now, on top of that, this movie is actually highly recommended to watch. Now, if you've watched Present Still Perfect, comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know what life lessons you took away from this movie, or your favorite characters if you have any, and specific scenes that you really love. And also, it will help me heaps if you can please subscribe and hit the like button. And until next time, bye!